The fourth question is this. It's related to priority class. Create a priority class named high priority for user workload with value less than existing user defined critical class value. As the existing deployment busybox logger running in priority namespace to use high priority class. Ensure that busybox logger deployment roll out successfully. It is expected that pods from other deployment running in the priority namespace are not evicted. Do not modify deployment running in the priority namespace. Failure to do so may reduce the score. So we are not supposed to modify any other deployment or any other namespace in the namespace. Just update this deployment to use the priority class which we create. So let's go ahead and try to resolve the issue. Let's check if we have that priority namespace. Get pods under namespace priority. There are two deployments. Let's see how many deployments we have in priority namespace. There are two deployments, busybox logger and user workload, right? There are two deployments running. And if we check busybox logger, there is no priority defined for that. And if we user workload, if we see, then for both the priorities are not defined. So let's check the priorities. Let's check priorities. What priorities we have in a cluster. So we have this critical priority, that's a priority we have to take reference from, right? This priority is there, and the three priorities already there. So we need to create high priority. This is the priority name we need to give. So for that we need to go to documentation priority. We need to write let's copy it. PC, let's give name as PC. Let's paste it, and high priority is the name we want to give, and then what should be less than one less than this priority, right? So how do we calculate one less than this? So to calculate that, we need to just write expression expr. Like how many zeros are there, we don't know, right? That is one. BC. It's very difficult to count the number of zeros and number of zeros in this. I don't know what's the value of this, but 1000000. So we have to rather than calculating manually, we just I type as expression and -1, then BC. This is the number I got, right? This is the number I need to use it in pc.yaml. In pc.yaml, I need to use this number. Now let's copy it, save it, and then let's apply pc.yaml. Okay, now if that is done, then let's see if it's got created or not. It got created, right? One less than the existing one. So we need to use this in the deployment to reference this priority.yaml. This is high priority in the deployment reference. We need to reference it. So let's see how we can reference that. To reference that, let's get deployment priority. It is 0 by 1. Crash looping. I don't know why it is crash looping. Crash looping is not an issue, right? We need to set the priority as high priority for this deployment. Let's check if there's any deployment. Set describe pod There is no deployment, there is no priority set pin set. Let's grep it using grep priority. There is no priority set, there is nothing set, so we need to set it. To set that, we need to get the deployment and then save it into a file. Get deploy. What's the deployment name? Busy logger, right? Okay, busy logger, and then save it output or YAML, output into YAML, and then save it into a file. Let's save it into a file. .yml. Now let's add priority for this deployment file. We have our deployment running. It is crashing, but that's not an issue. We need to add this high priority in the deployment. So how do we add it? To add it, we need to go to the documentation. Check how do we add it. It should be added under spec, right? Add under spec. So let's copy it. Let's go to the terminal and then let's try to edit the deployment. Under spec we need to add. Is running, right? So let's try to check the priority is set or not. Priority is set. So we have priority been set, high priority. That's the priority class which we created, right? Let's check the priority class. This is the priority we created, and this is the priority we been attached to the deployment. And we rolled out the deployment also. Now let's roll out the deployment. Let's see how we. So we have achieved the assigning of priority now. Now if we do rollout, it will again move back to no priority, right? So for that we need to delete the deployment and then try to save the deployment into a file and try to delete the deployment and try to apply the deployment again and then try to roll out restart. Let's not do all those things, because in the in the question we saw that we should not delete the running deployment in the priority namespace, right? Modify or running deployment in namespace. Let's not touch all these things, but this is how you solve the question. There is no mention of rollout of the deployment also in this question. So we have resolved the issue. We have solved the question and try to achieve the desired result. That's all we wanted to do. It's like we have to create the PC priority class, and then we have to one less than the user defined priority class, which is something 10000, right? One less than that. So one less than that means 99999. And after that we have to use that high priority class into the deployment which is already there, which is running. So I edited the deployment and try to use it. I used it. It is already running. That's all I wanted. Well, that's all I wanted to cover in this question. So that's all. Let's move to question number 5.